right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Friday, and we decided we would change things up and actually stream this week. My name's Aaron. With me is Donovan.
Yep, I'm the ethereal voice.
That's right. We got to spend some time with real users in real life in the real world. A couple weeks, or well, I guess that was just last week.
Might have
Uh,
felt like a couple weeks ago. It was not a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was last week.
and people always seem to be surprised that Donovan has a body and a face. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the face. And that is exactly the exact words and phrasing that I heard when I was meeting people. Because we had this opportunity to all be together in person, and they would come up and start talking, and it's like, I feel like I know you from somewhere. I'm like, well, if you join in the lives, I'm that ethereal voice. You have a face. It was typically the next thing that I would hear out of the mouth. So yes, I do have a face, but for this occasion, I am just the
Faceless.
voice. Yep.
Oh, I mean the voice.
Yep. The voice.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Got to hang out with hundreds of you guys, which is pretty cool. Hundreds of users, and spend time talking about, learn about SketchUp. It was great. So yeah, I guess I don't know. Raise your hand, shout out. I mean, a couple people are mentioning that they were in Vegas with us, but yeah, I saw a couple names go by. Robert, Karsten. Who else said they were?
You already have people asking that you don't do the voice effects this time.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I couldn't hear it, so it didn't bother me in the slightest. That's not saying that's gonna happen. I'm just saying that it didn't really bother me that much. Yeah, cool. So we're here. We're gonna do some modeling. We're gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna model a cool thing. When we were actually modeling live, we did a live modeling session at Basecamp, and I threw out a question to people. I said, gave three options. Do you want to do some quick and dirty Las Vegas building models, like casino or just buildings in Las Vegas, hotels, or we could model some Vegasy entourage, like a roulette table. I thought would be kind of cool, or the Las Vegas sign. And we had people vote, and the buildings came out ahead. So we did a low quality rendering of 5 buildings. We started with the Luxor, which is a pyramid. That was an easy one. Then we did the Sphere, which is a follow me circle. That wasn't so hard. And then we did the Mirage, the Rio, and the Aria. And they were just kind of low quality, quick and dirty, but looking at how to use colors or projections to make quick and easy models. So it was fun. It was cool.
Yep.
But the
We
second
had an hour.
yeah, it was also
we,
only an hour.
We got all of that done in an hour.
I should
And the
point
name
out
of the class was fantastic. It was perfect.
live modeling SketchUp live.
Yep.
Yep. So it was cool. It was fun. We are the second place thing. The thing that came in second was the Las Vegas sign. So I thought, hey, that'd be a fun thing to spend some time on our live session. So plus it's not too painful. I'll be honest. Coming back from Basecamp is a little bit of work. It's not easy, but I think this would be a fun one to spend some time on and yeah, make a cool model. It's not terribly complicated, so we're gonna have to do some stuff with fonts and maybe an extension or two. But I also thought of some cool stuff maybe we could do to add a little animation to it, something like that. But yeah, let's check it out. Let's hop in. Yeah, as usual, give a shout out if you are where you're calling in from, that sort of thing. Let us know. Say hi. A lot of people are already doing that.
Yeah. Welcome to all of the chats across all the platforms. Typically, you can see the chat on screen this week. Restream has a new UI. We're getting all that kind of stuff figured out, and so you won't be able to see the chat on the screen. But if you jump over to youtube.com/@SketchUp, you can follow the live chat there.
It's funny. Randy just asked how the weather in Las Vegas was. So I live in Colorado, which is technically desert based on the annual rainfall. It's very dry here. Like a lot of people don't realize, but it is a very dry place. But they take dryness to another level in that
Oh
state.
yeah.
I could not believe I never stopped drinking water. I feel like I like took a break from the water bottle to talk to people and then back to work. But I was still dry the whole time. It was crazy. But mostly,
Yeah, lip balm sales there. Mm,
yeah,
do nicely. They do nicely.
yeah,
Casinos as well, but beyond the casinos, lip balm sales.
whew, yeah. It was something. Uh, yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, my dog did just bark downstairs, so it happens. Yeah, let's get in and model this thing. I'm gonna start by importing a reference model. So I'm just gonna go to File, Import, and I have on my desktop a image. So I'm just gonna import this as an image. I'm gonna lay it down on the ground, nice and big, and that's what we're gonna model.
Oh man, so many people all around the world. Hey chat, what's up? As you're saying in the chat. So to call a few people out, we have people here from Bavaria, from Salt Lake City, from Colorado, from Finland, from North Yorkshire. I am saying that right? Yorkshire. Hold on. Yorkshire. Yes. A bunch of people coming back from Vegas, just like we did. We got people from Vancouver, Canada, from Wisconsin, from Peru. Oh man, just all over. From Connecticut, Arizona, Wales, Toronto, Spain. Geez, all over the Devon, Syria, Newfoundland.
I
Just
recognize some of these
everywhere.
places.
I know. So Finland, on social media, the algorithm feeds you what you want to watch, obviously. And the last several days, I've gotten so many posts of people in Finland because of all the snow there. I
Mm.
love snow. I love winter. I'm from Montana and mountains, kind of all that kind of stuff. So when you said Finland, my mind just went back to all those posts because it makes me want to just go. Can we just go? Let's just go.
Go.
Just go.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, we got people from Kenya. Wow. From Ontario. So Ontario. Yorkshire. Yes, where the pudding comes from in Northern England. Yep.
Hey, however you remember it, that's cool. All right. This is actually fairly raggedy looking. I know. I can tell they've they replaced parts of this, but not all of it. It is historical. Cool. So I do want to model this as a 3D sign. I do want to do some work with like the actual neon tubes. So I want to get some of those in there. Yeah, we'll see how much we can do. We'll just go for it. All right, first thing I want to do is get this straight. I don't know how straight this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this point right here. Come up here and connect to, oh, you know what? I'm going to call that straight up and down. Good enough.
Ooh.
My standards are low. All right. So let's come up here, get this. This part's not as straight, but
So since the sign is symmetrical, is this one of these cases where you're going to model a corner of it, like 1/4 of it, and then mirror to come up with the full sign, or how are you going to do it? How you going to do it?
I wasn't thinking of quarter. I was going to model half of it. Was kind of my thought. But we'll see. I'm just going to get kind of that shape together. And then I'm going to make that into a group. So here was my initial thought. Now Donovan's like challenging me, but I'll tell you why I was thinking half and not quarter.
Well, only because this goes back to like conversations we had at 3D Basecamp over modeling a full something or just modeling half of it and mirroring it or modeling a quarter of it, and it was the table conversation.
So here's how I would go about this. So obviously I don't know a whole lot about the Las Vegas sign. I'm not an expert on it by any means, but you can see as I go. So here I put a line top to bottom and then snap to the middle. If I pull a line along the red axis to the right, you can see how it comes, it hits the outline of the sign above that circle over there. If I come over here, it hits below. So even though this sign is pretty well straight up and down, it's still, there's some distortion because of where the camera is. And that happens. It's really hard to get a perfectly straight on flat view of really anything ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tools at my disposal to create the perfect recreation of this, geometrically perfect. So I'm going to grab a point right here. I'm going to come out and I'm just going to go to where the outside of this edge is and click right there. Now I'm going to take a circle and I'm going to come, I want to stay well inside and just kind of come up until it's, what I want to do is kind of come to right about where this is and a little bit past, something like maybe like that. That was a fairly low few edges there, so let's go to entity info. All right, I'm gonna draw it again. I'm gonna draw a circle. I want to bump up to 48 sides. All right, and I'm gonna go right here, bring that up.
Yeah, Johnny 5 put it right in the comments. He says parallax will get you every time.
Yes, this is exactly right. So there we go. So I'll bring that out to about there. And then we'll go, I'm going to grab an edge and take it up here. Grab that. And then I'll mirror that along that edge. I didn't quite grab the right edge. I was guessing. I gambled there. Let's try that. That's closer. That's what I want. Cool. Same thing up here. I use those edges a lot when I model around things. I know some people want perfect circles and that kind of stuff, but I actually love playing around with the segments to get the geometry that I want. I'm going to take that and I'll do the same thing. I'll just mirror that. Modifier key, pull that down to the face. There we go. Whoops, too much deleting. Over deleted.
That's all right. In SketchUp, you can undo up to 100 times.
Still my favorite command, undo. All right, so I'm going to grab that and I'm going to make that into a group. So what I'm doing here is I want to model the main pieces. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So I got the frame, this right here, the stand, I don't know what you call it, the base, the legs.
Well, we are all about that. So yeah.
And then I got the outline and sign. Then I got the bubbles up here with the welcome letters, and then I got the star. So I'm just going to model 2D representations real quick of all those things and then start pulling them into 3D space. So let's get this circle in here. Same thing. Circle still 48 sides because that's what my last one was. I'm going to pull it up. Ooh, dang, that was pretty close. A little smaller. All right, and I'm going to take that one. I'm going to option, move it along the red axis over to here. Again, parallax. I'm not going to worry about, I don't want to put it up here. I want to put it in a straight line because I believe that's what's supposed to be happening. And then WELCOME 7. I'm going to click here and then divide by 6 because I want 6 copies total. Oh, those touch? They don't touch. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Grab that.
Sometimes things just, they work out.
No matter how, sometimes I try as hard as I can and things work out anyhow. All right. Last piece I want to get modeled is this star. Again, same thing. I'm going to align it with the middle here down to here. Go in the middle of that. I'm going to break that at the middle. I'll just take this one edge right there. Oh no.
Oh, DCube says, why can't SketchUp draw circles or curves instead of polygons?
because that is how, it's going to sound sarcastic, but that's how SketchUp was made. SketchUp was
Is it more of an architectural thing that you don't find perfect circles in architecture, or?
I just think it was a. Boy, this is turning out rougher than I thought. I don't know this. I was not around when SketchUp was created. What the heck? Can't get rid of that line. But I believe at the time it was quicker and easier to draw a segmented edge rather than create. I'm going to grab both these edges. I'm going to rotate them a copy of them 90 degrees. There we go. It was just easier to draw those pieces rather than calculate where true curves were and store true curves. The way SketchUp's engine was drawn, I think it was easier just to store the different segment locations. I don't really know the absolute reason. Like I said, I wasn't part of it. I'm also not a programmer. But something along those lines. It was just quicker and easier to store those pieces that way. That was a fancy way of saying, oh. All right, I'm going to take that. But it doesn't because it doesn't, is also the reason. So one of the things I'm seeing here with this, I gotta come out here and lock. I keep selecting my picture and back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out to the picture. I'm going to real quick explode it and then make it a group. And then I can lock it. That way I can't accidentally select it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all this geometry and I'm going to slide it down so it hits the corner here. And then it's kind of hard to tell. What I actually wish I'd do, I'm going to do this. I got my picture in here laying down flat on the... You know what I should do?
Ooh, that was a thought. Tell me.
I should save.
That's very, yes, very good.
It's only taken me a couple of years, guys, but I have figured that out. All right.
You know, sometimes we do it intentionally. Like Austin Powers says, we'd like to live dangerously.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I guess today's not one of those times.
All right. I'm going to come into my styles real quick. I already have this image drawn in, dropped on the ground, so I'm tracing it, working with it that way. But I'm also going to come in and add it as a watermark. All right. And I'm going to put it in the background. Put it in the upper left corner, which I like to do. We don't need quite that big. Something like that. All right. That way I can kind of look up here and see where does this go. So the star hits at these two corners right here, and the pokey bits, I don't know if there's probably a better term for those. The prongs, that's a fork. I don't know. They go just beyond, so they lap up onto the edge like that a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do
is we only use proper technical terminology on our
screen. You know it. So I'm going to get rid of all these other pieces, and then I'm just going to grab this one, and then again 3x. Give me those edges. Okay, that looks cool. So that's a good outline. I'm going to triple click on that and make it a group because I don't actually want this. That'll get deleted. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to use it as kind of a reference to get my edges drawn in here. Let's go ahead and make this. And this is a spot, absolutely, like you were saying, Donovan, I will take that, model 1/2 of one prong, one star prong, delete that, whoops, delete the edge I have between them, grab that piece, rotate, option, 3x, And then a second one will go from here to, say, there. Trying to get a surface there. Oh, I didn't try this side. The middle. There we go. So this one, I don't have. Let's see. I could probably use flip and use the red inference. I don't know. If I wanted to mirror this over here, the thing that I would do is probably be to grab that line right there and then just rotate it to here and then close it up. I guess I could probably figure out how to use flip to do that, but that just seems much quicker. You can grab that piece. There's no clean way to show this. Go here, 3x. Oh, I didn't do something right.
Ooh, that's fun to watch.
Yeah, let's try that again. Start from.
Hey, speaking of fun to watch, Bertrand over on Facebook says, "What's up, guys? What's up?"
Something bad happened all the way at the beginning. All right. And now, as Don was talking about those 100 undos, we're going to try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them. All right. What happened? Oh. What the ugliness is this?
What did you do?
Something bad. So we have reached the point of this show where Aaron can spend time trying to figure out what happened, or, and again, like saving, this is something I've recently learned, I could hit delete and do it again. It's probably going to be quicker. All right, so I'm going to come in here and hide some stuff. I'm going to grab everything, in fact. Let's grab it all, and I'm going to temporarily hit hide, get it out of my face. Actually, no, I don't want to do that because I need this. My decisions sometimes change at the speed of thought. That's probably how thoughts work, right? All right, so I'm going to run that down into the sign just a little bit. I'm going to grab it by the middle point, and I'm going to turn it 45 degrees, 3x, to give me all of my sides, and then we'll grab that, and then we'll inference straight up, and then bring that down to the corner, like that. And then same thing before, I'm going to do a circle out to just past like that, so I can snip off these 3 pieces, and then get rid of that circle. All right. I am not going to bother grouping that. I'm just going to go with this geometry and then bring a line down like that. I'm going to take that edge and I'm going to mirror it.
Seem much easier, right?
And then, watch this.
Ooh.
Then I'm going to come right here, bring this down to here, straight across to here, here up to here. There we go. And I'm going to grab just that piece. Option 45 degrees or 90 degrees, 3x. And that should give me, there's the geometry I want. Now I'm going to make that into a group. Sometimes, I don't know, this is probably pretty obvious, but you know, sometimes you get stuff, you're like, I know exactly how to do it. And sometimes you do it wrong once or twice, and then all of a sudden it makes a lot more sense on how to do it. Yeah, I do that.
This is why we're here. We're here to learn. We're here to learn together.
It's not just to watch me fail. Cool. Yeah. All right.
Hey, Patrick O'Brien is asking, do we have any updates from 3D Basecamp? I don't see any YouTube updates.
We do. So we have some materials that will be going live on YouTube. It's just a matter of it's reality. We go there, we work there, and then we come home from Basecamp and most of us are catching up then on the stuff that we didn't do the week we were at Basecamp and the weeks leading up because we're busy getting ready for Basecamp. So things like editing down videos or sharing information is absolutely something we like to do, but it does sometimes take a little bit of time. So it's coming. It's coming. All right, moving on. All right, let's think about, let's get into 3D here. I kind of feel like I want to do two things here. There's always this point where I move from 2D to 3D, which can be a little bit rough because sometimes I still want to inference the image below and make sure I'm copying stuff right. But one of the issues that comes up with working with images below is this kind of stuff, right? Where I have overlapping faces, and then as soon as I get into 3D, then unless I'm looking straight down, the face doesn't match anymore, that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to go ahead and break away from my 3D right now and start modeling in, or break away from 2D and start modeling 3D now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with this simple piece right here. I'm going to bring that up in 3D like that. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to paint it because I can. All right, Windows users, try not to drool, but we do have, I'm going to use my colored pencils to pick a color. I'm sorry, I know, Mac only.
Yeah, you want to talk about a hotly contested debate when you're in person with a bunch of people. Bring up Windows versus Mac when using SketchUp, and whoo!
It's true. All right, so I'm going to do this. In this group, I'm going to run this edge long. I'm going to run this edge long. I didn't do that first one right. Let's start over. All right. Inference here, run that long. Inference here, run that long. There we go. Then I'll take that piece and I'll rotate it from the middle. 3x. And then I can take this piece and just bring it a little higher. And to get it done on the other side, I'm just going to copy that, Option copy that down to the other face. And then I can, I don't know what the back of the sign looks like. I'm assuming it's the same as the front. So, all right, there we go.
Creative liberty, right?
That's right. You're not the boss of me,
we got
sign.
a couple questions. Randy is saying, in one of Aaron's videos, he showed how to make a stamp of a circle and then clicked copies of it all over the object. I cannot figure out how to do that. Suggestions?
Sure. So you can take anything. It doesn't have to be a circle, a rectangle, circle, whatever it is. And if I take that and I go to move, I have the option. If you look down at the bottom, because I don't know if you're a Mac or Windows, but down here I have the key. So in this case, my Option key will cycle between copy, stamp, and move. So right now I'm in move, but if I hit Option one time, now I'm in copy. And if I go to move and I hit Option, now I'm in stamp. And I take this one and I go place it, place it, place it, place it, place it, place it. And that's all there is to stamping something. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be a group component, single face, single edge, whatever. That's all you got to do. The more you know.
You have cue the music.
All right.
Oh, and then Patrick is asking, are you going to model the palm trees for context?
Nope. Next question. And I don't want to think about it. I was trying to do an easy model that just got back. Yeah, wasn't planning on trees. I have done, actually, I think if you look through some of our older stuff, I do have some videos of modeling palm trees. They're kind of like low poly, artsy looking things, but we did do that before. So it's out there, but no, that was not planned for today. All right, I'm gonna come in
Well,
here.
someone's asking, did Aaron see Omar? I'm guessing at Basecamp. Yeah.
I don't remember if Omar was there or not. Yes. No, I think I did see him, I think. Yes? Could be. Got some. Again,
Patrick says just do low poly palms. Low poly palms.
yeah, that's kind of what we did. I did once before. Like I said, if you look on our somewhere in the because we did some like images for a marketing campaign, and one of the things that was in there was some low poly palm trees. And I think I did videos on both the leaves and then kind of the arcing, the shape that was the trunk. I don't know. You'd have to dig. You'd have to dig a little. All right. One of the things I noticed right there is when I did the push me, I got some segmentation. That means somewhere my arc broke. So I'm just going to select all of this. I'm going to right click and say weld edges. Since I'm doing this two-sided, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Weld edges here. And now I need to make this. So you can see it comes in and then there's kind of a lip up. So I'm just going to do double offset. I'm going to come in here, offset once, and then I'm just going to double click to offset a second time. And that second one, I'm going to pull up. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to switch over here, offset, double click. Because if I double click, it does it the same amount as last time. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this before I modify the geometry, because here's why. When I offset that up now, see how that automatically changes color? If I had done that while it was still white, then I would have to go in and paint all these little edges, and I hate painting little edges like that. So there we go. Much quicker, much easier, much, dare I say, better. All right, we're getting there. We're getting through this. This is just coming right along. I'm gonna grab these guys right here, and I'm going to pull them up till they are up to the highest point. And I'm wondering, let's throw this out to the chat. Perhaps somebody out there knows or can find, what does the back of the Vegas sign look like? Is it the same? Because I'm wondering, I'm looking here, I'm wondering if these circles, they're obviously sitting in front of the fabulous Las Vegas part, but is there a copy of them on the back? Because I don't see them. So I'm wondering if the back is just like dumb. Challenge issued. What can you guys find? Let's give these some depth. I did not make these components or anything like that. I'm kind of feeling like right now, I should.
Marty is saying save. I just rewatched the Notre Dame video.
Save. There we go. I saved. All right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get rid of most of these. I'm going to grab this, make it a component. And then I'm going to take it, option copy it over right on top of this. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. Whoa, everybody settle down.
Ooh, ooh.
Hot mouse.
I'm a little excited there.
All right. Why am I not?
Oh, Philip says the back of the sign says see you next time. Which makes sense, because saying welcome as you leave, yeah.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not right. Okay. Here we go. Divide by 6, I believe. Yep. Cool. And then I'll grab right here, deselect that just to get rid of that extra circle down there. All right, and there we go. We have the important parts of the sign. So we have some more stuff we're going to add on to it, but this is the important part. If I were Tyson, I would take this chunk right now and copy it over so I could go back to it later, but I live on the edge. So,
Oh, apparently the back of the sign changes because people say drive carefully, come back soon is often written on the back.
oh, huh. That's cool. All right. I'm at the point right now where I don't want to see this thing flashing in my face anymore, but I don't want to get rid of it. So I'm just going to unlock that. I'm going to grab all of this right here, and I'm going to put it on a new tag. Let's see, I'll make a new tag called reference. I will take all of this, I will add it to reference, and then I will turn reference off. That's all I need. I still have this image up here to refer to, but I don't necessarily want to pull anything off the ground. Except I'm going to have to do that in a second. Let's look at these welcome sign, or the welcome letters. So they are, you can see I do have just big welcome letters on here. And then there is fluorescent tubes in each letter so it lights up. So I'm thinking what I'll do is use 3D text to put welcome on here first, put those big bulk letters on, and then I'll come back and we'll do a 3D circle over the letters to emulate that little tube going on there. Same with the outlines. We'll do the same thing. We'll do outlines here and then the outlines on the star. I think for this piece right here, Fabulous Las Vegas, I think
Fabulous.
I'll actually cut that out of the image. So that's my thought. That's my thought process right now. Welcome's going to be actual letters or 3D letters, 3D text. We'll do some bunch of follow me's for the different pieces of fluorescent tubing, and then we'll pull this out, and then we'll use an extension to get the light bulbs around the outside.
Peter said one of the words Aaron was looking for is efficient or effective.
What was that in reference to?
I don't I don't know. I was looking at a question saying, Ari, the Notre Dame video, how is Gilligan? Is there an inside story to that?
I say a lot of things in those videos, and that one was 4 hours long and 5 years ago. I don't know. So you might need to help us out more.
Yeah. D-Cube is asking, how popular is the Scan Essentials add-on? How many users do you think there are worldwide?
I have zero idea. I wouldn't even know where to speculate on that. I mean, it's studio users, but I don't know how many people are actually using it. I know I've seen people use it and make it a key part of their workflow, but I don't know. I mean, a lot of people who design in SketchUp don't have access to or reason to use something like cloud scan data, so I imagine it's not hugely implemented across the SketchUp user base. But I do know the customers who do use it, like the people I've talked to who use it, love it, and they really like what it does for them. It's a huge time saver. So.
Ooh, Bill says the star also has neon tubes.
So. Oh yeah, we're gonna tube it all up. First thing I do is find a font. So, ooh, yeah. So what we got to do is we got to come up with here. Let's get a nice big, like a 12-inch font. Do we have any font heads out there who look at this and they're like, oh yeah, that's. I'm gonna just try Arial because it looks. That's the height. I just typed Arial as a height. Doesn't work. Let's see. I'll try Arial and see how close.
Okay, I'm picking up what they're putting down now. So the reference was that you took everybody on a 3-hour tour. So I guess you're Gilligan. Okay.
It might be more Skipper and just, I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah. John says Helvetica.
All right, let's. Oh, if I have that on here.
Seems like a pretty standard font, right?
I would buy that. Yeah. Mm,
I do love fonts. Fonts
no.
are so fun to work with.
Let me tell you
Except when you
something.
have too many of them on your computer and you have to do that Wheel of Fortune like to get through them.
So it's not Helvetica, and I'm not hugely into fonts, but I do. I dabble. I dabble a little bit. The big giveaway about this font, and it may not be a standard font, is the O is a circle. See that? Same with the C. The C is a chunk of circle. Helvetica slightly stretches that O. So I'm not saying it is Arial, but I want to check Arial now and see.
Futura, perhaps? John followed up with Futura. Marty also says Futura.
There it is. That's it. Look at that O.
Oh? Oh, look at that O.
It's closer.
You meant like the O.
we got closer, but again, not perfect. And here's my call out there is first off, we have the W and the E have sharp points and they don't here. The other thing is the M, look at the M is straight up and down and doesn't come out. So that's close, but doesn't work either. We don't have to nail this, guys, by the way. This is not going to production or anything like that. So we could definitely go with Helvetica. It is very, very close. The M, so the W flares out, but the M does not. Very, very, very close. So I think, I mean, unless anybody has any other thoughts, I feel.
I mean, we could get more nitpicky than we do with the modeling. I
true.
mean, we could get more picky with the font than we do the modeling, but.
So my real question is bold.
Myriad Pro?
Let's see. I don't know what I got here, but no Myriad. I don't got Myriad. All right, I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
We're going to go with regular. I am not going to extrude it, but I'm going to fill it, and I'm just going to place it. I know it's the wrong size, but I'm just going to get it in here right now like that. And then a lot of times, I'll be honest, when I use 3D text, I very rarely fill in the information correctly. Like I don't go in and how big is my text and how far is extrude. I don't really ever do that. I usually just throw it on the ground and then scale it or resize it after the fact. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna get this in here. Oh, looks good. Same thing with spacing. I could have gone in W space, E space, L space, but I don't know that I would have got that perfect either. So I'm just gonna kind of stretch these across like this. This is how I go about that.
Keggy says Comic Sans. Get out of here with it.
He just knows that's my favorite. Thank you, Keggy. And I do, yes, I do love that font, mostly to be obstinate to all the people who are pointlessly angry about fonts.
Ooh, Bill's coming in with the font history. Fonts related to Las Vegas include Brush Script, House Script, Kinescope, Las Vegas Castaway, Las Vegas Jackpot, and Las Vegas Nugget. I guess it does make sense that, Vegas fonts.
I didn't even look. I don't think I have any Las Vegas fonts. All right, there we go.
Peter says typography class was one of my favorites in packaging and graphic design.
I think that would be fun. All right, so that's pretty good. It'll work for what we're doing. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to select all of it and reverse the face. I'm going to right now color it red. And now, once that's done, I will select, put these in to a group together. Actually, I could just leave it like that. There's no reason to explode it. Since these are components, I don't like where that W is. That's better.
Looks close enough, right?
You know, is there
Would be
sometimes
passable.
you get that thing where you're like, ooh, something's not right there. That was one of those times. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I was just saying I did not put it in because these are components. So if I make a change to one of these, it's going to change all of them, which is going to make it quicker and easier to do the fluorescent tubes on here. And I'm going to do perfect fluorescent tubes, by the way. So I'm not, the image has them like bending and going back inside grommets to the inside. We're doing fake, surreal. Nothing in Vegas is real, so we're not going to start now. I'm just going to come in here.
Why start now?
That's right. All right, so in here, I'm going to triple click to make this a group. It's going to isolate the geometry. And now I can come in here with a circle. Bring that out to not all the way to the edge, but like pretty close. Something like that. And then I'm going to go to that top. Which one? Where to go? This is the top edge. I'm going to go draw a circle. Like that. And I want to pull that out so it almost hits the edge right here. And I'm going to note that 2.5. 2.5. That is going to be the size of my fluorescent tubing throughout the model. Take that, bring it up vertically. Get rid of this face. Select here. We don't need fonts anymore. We don't need colors. You guys, stop crowding me. All right. And then I'll say, follow me with the circle. Yeah, baby. All right. Those... they look kind of white, but I'm going to say, I'm going to give them kind of a light yellow color. Yeah. Yes. 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 Okay.
Is that just for distinction?
Yeah, because it looks good.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's it. It just looks good. I'm thinking about some things right now. Let me share my thoughts rather than just tell you.
We're here for you, Aaron.
Thanks, buddy. I think I'm going to change how some of my stuff is showing up. So I'm going to come in here. Actually, I'm going to back up a couple steps. Z, 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 Z. I don't like this circle. It's too big. Sometimes you don't know something's not right until... let's try that. 1.5 inches rather than 2.5 inches. Follow me. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Sorry. Boom. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yeah, I want to change how I'm visualizing things. So I'm going to go into my styles. I am going to see what it looks like without profiles. Maybe without edges altogether.
Who needs edges?
I will probably need edges, but we'll come back to that in a second. I'll probably also bring on my ambient occlusion. Oh, heck yeah.
Make it pop.
Yep. All right. It does make me wonder how much modeling could I do without edges? I inference edges a lot in my models. So I wonder how far I could get. Probably not very far. So I'll turn my edges back on. This isn't one of those watch Aaron be in pain the whole time sessions. But hey, next time we want one of those, that might be the way to do it. All right, so if I come in here, I'm going to, now what I got to do is I got to make outlines for all of the letters. And I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So this, on this outside edge, I'm just going to inference like that. Ooh, look at that. This is interesting. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to go to the middle of here, up to the middle of here, down to the middle of here, to the middle of here. Because there's actually a taper to this. This is not a straight, these two are not parallel. There's actually a slight taper between the, that's very interesting. All right, with that, I'm going to put an arc, a low poly arc. So an arc of like 4 sides from here to here, and then double click to.
So Bill is saying that the night shots of the sign show the circular neon as white and the letters as yellow.
These letters, the neon on it. Gotcha. That's interesting information. I don't know that I'm going to do anything with that information. That's cool. I feel like I should be acknowledging that and changing how I'm modeling, but I don't think I'm gonna. But I don't know. Well, we could color this however we want. I'll do what I normally try to do sometimes and share this, and everybody's free to color it how they like. All right. So this is just going to take a second here, but I'm going to put that right there. I don't think that did right. Up here till it turns magenta. There we go. Should probably be using the same size arc for all of these, but actually here's, I probably use this inside, get closer. Yeah. All right, I got a question. Who in the chat made it to 3D Basecamp? And what'd you think? I know we got at least a handful of people who were there.
Well, let's throw it back to you first. We'll give him a chance to respond. What did you think, Aaron?
I thought it was great. I had a blast. It was very different from any previous base camps. I don't know if everybody knows the story, but we were part of Dimensions this year. So it was in a new place. We'd never been to Las Vegas before, but we'd also never done it as part of a larger group. So it was, a lot of unknown going into it, but I thought it turned out great. I had a super good time. I was so thankful for everybody who made it out there. Yeah, overall good. How about you, Donovan? How did you? This was not your first base camp, but it was.
It was not.
Actually, you started pretty new when we did the last one.
Yep. It was my it wasn't my hazing, so to speak, into the SketchUp community and culture, but it was definitely exposure to the SketchUp community right off the bat that helped really form my appreciation for this community of people and just the imagination and skill and talent and fun that people bring into a software program. So at the end of the day, this is just a piece of software, but it was amazing. I enjoyed it so much. I walked away so inspired, which is it's part of the point and purpose of Basecamp, to just give people inspiration by being around other like-minded SketchUp users. And that's how it went for me. I walked away feeling so inspired and walked so much and ate so much and talked so much, and it was great. It really was.
Absolutely. I agree with 100% what you said.
Philip says, yep, I did. It was a great time and really good having Basecamp on a different floor, which gave the community feel. So, yeah. Ooh, Earl asks, what is the primary purpose of Basecamp? To learn SketchUp?
Oh, primary. That's like saying like I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a it's the best flavor of ice cream. I don't know. I'm thinking about ice cream for some reason. uh, yeah, I mean it is a user conference, so we definitely lean into part of the reason we do it is part of the reason we do it is so we can hang out with users. I mean, that is a big, huge piece of why we do what we do. Um, it's also an amazing learning event. So you can actually come to Basecamp and learn to use SketchUp better than you ever have before. Um, but yeah, it's all those things actually. So
Yeah. I
user
mean,
event
I guess,
training, networking.
yeah. One thing that I do have to admit about just a lot of people in their professions is there's a lot of professional people that they either work alone or they work in small teams.
Hmm.
When it comes to SketchUp, you're typically not talking about like large firms with teams of 20 or 30 people. You're talking about like small firms, small teams and things like that. And so like SketchUp really is, and Keggy, we're not trying to be cruel to the people that couldn't be there. We're just trying to, you know, we're not trying to be cruel and rub it in for the people that couldn't be there. We really want like people to be part of this and to be part of this community. But like I was saying, like a lot of people come from these very small teams where they work in they kind of work in a bubble and a vacuum. And one of the other great things about SketchUp is you can go and you can see how other people use SketchUp in a way that you never even thought was possible. There were classes about using SketchUp to calculate acoustic. What was it? Had the specific acoustic reverberation in different rooms and things like that, and just fascinating ways of how people have utilized SketchUp. And you get to see all that and talk to the people who use them in these different ways, and it's just like I said, very very inspiring. Not trying to rub it in, Keki, just very inspiring. Randy says, I wonder how many people don't know any other SketchUp users at all. There's a lot of people that use SketchUp, so I'm sure that number is probably pretty high. Patrick says, please bring Basecamp to this side of the pond. Don't we have a UK light Basecamp?
Yeah, so outside of the US, what generally happens is that those base camps are usually done through distributors. So my suggestion would be find your nearest distributor and ask them if they're doing a base camp.
And you've been to a couple of those international
Yeah, I have actually.
international ones.
One of the first ones I went to, first base camps I went to as a team member was in Japan, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, I always say, which is not. I mean, it's nothing. I think we would love to do as many base camps as we possibly can, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, that sort of thing. So it is kind of hard for us to put on more than one every 2 years. But yeah, they do exist. They're out there. Just really gotta talk to your local reseller and see if they're doing a base camp.
Yep. And if you weren't able to make it this time, uh, start a piggy bank. You got 2 years.
Next time.
Next time.
Next time will be 2026, by the way.
Earl says, does the SketchUp development team present at Basecamp or take feedback from users there?
We actually had a thing called the UI UX lab where people could sit down with our people in our product development group and talk about what was upcoming, what they liked, struggled with, that sort of thing. And it was a great opportunity for people to get their voice heard. It was really cool. It was actually, a lot of people said that was one of their favorite parts of it. So, yes, that was a thing. I'm just doing a little fine tuning here. Got my tubes in here, and I just want to kind of, my circles didn't end up as perfect circles because of our font, but I'm making it work ish. Over here. All right, we got that in there. Ooh, here's what I think I'm gonna do. Actually, let's pause. Let's back up for a second. I like this. I like the white and the yellow. I think it looks cool. But what if we take advantage of what we got here? And what if we were to put a lower opacity? Whoops.
Ooh. Ooh, Kegi says, how about getting Tribble to do a lottery for an all expense paid trip for non-US peeps to go to Basecamp?
We have done some things like giveaways in the past, so that is not a ridiculous thought by any means.
Well, and another option is that every year we put a call out for, not every year, every Basecamp. We put a call out for speakers and presenters at Basecamp to come and to teach us about, your process, your workflow, what you do, how you use it. And that is a possibility of having some of those expenses covered, is to come and to present at Basecamp and to be a teacher.
Yeah, so that would be the perfect reply to that, is learn what you do better than anybody else, and then come to Basecamp and teach us all. Most of the content is actually presented by users, so we don't, it's not Donovan, Tyson, and myself going up and doing all the training. It's actually the people who use it are doing most of the training. So it is primarily taught by users. So that would be a great way to get there. Well,
yeah,
would not get there. I mean, we pay for a ticket in a hotel room. You do gotta pick up your own flight, but that's it. So, yeah.
Studio RT Cool says it's Trimbles every year. Yes. It's called Dimensions.
Yes. All right.
Randy says, why not offset the inner oval to make it match? I guess you're a little bit beyond that. We're, catching up.
Yeah.
And then D-Cube says, can you make a component out of several groups afterwards?
Yep. One could. I like that. That's kind of cool the way it's like set off and you can kind of still see the colors underneath. It does mean I got to poke my head inside here. Get right inside. There we go. And then get rid of this path in each one. Oop, it means I'm going to have to do some intersecting over here too. Dang, just when I thought I was done.
Bill says outer tubes be white, inner tubes be yellow. The inner side of the tube be yellow, the outer side be white.
Oh man, now you're asking a lot of me. I wasn't prepared for that. Let's do this.
Randy says that your OCD is going to draw you back into fixing the O.
I know. All right. All right, here's what I need to do. I need to come in here. I need to triple click this and make it a group. I'm going to go into that group, and I got to clean up this intersection before I do anything else. Grab all this, right click, intersect face with selection. There we go. And now come in here. Get rid of some stuff. Here's some more stuff. Oh, 3D mouse, you make it so easy to look inside. All right. And then because I don't like, I want to select everything and then I'm gonna right click and I'm going to deselect my faces and then hide those edges. So I don't want to do that through the whole model, but on these pieces, I don't want those edges showing up. So I'm going to do that on all this. Deselect. I can do this, actually I should do this in bulk after I finish all of them. But I can now, let's see, explode this.
Karsten says TomTom's selection toys.
I love selection toys, you guys know that. But select and deselect is actually a native tool now. So it got easier. There's also, hey, I want to throw this out to everybody here. There is also a invert selection. Who here has used inverse or invert selection? I'm curious. I think it's a cool tool. I like what it does. I have not found myself like in a workflow where I use it a whole lot, but I want to reach out and see like who's using it. Who uses invert? Because like if I come in here and I do a group selection and right click, I forgot where it is. Select. No, that's selection toys. I forget even where it is. That's oh here select. No, yeah, invert selection. Does anybody use that? I'm curious. I had to make this a group and do the same thing I did in the other E. Actually,
Colin says me. Randy says I have. Steven says I use it a lot. I'm guessing you meant to say lot, unless you meant loot.
Was that a Canadian accent?
He uses it a lot. Yep. Philip can't say that he's used it. Marty hasn't used it. Colin says one use case is where your model has gone tiny because of distant geometry. You can zoom in, you can select bits that you want, invert the selection, and then delete.
That's a good one.
Higgy says, I remembered it just after having spent hours trying to do it manually and then giving up.
I like that. I appreciate that. I don't like that. I'm sorry you went through that. I apologize, or I feel you, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, like what they say, comedy is tragedy plus time. So, we can laugh about it now.
I'm always up for laughing at somebody else's pain. And I like to think that's why people show up here is, I'll be honest, you guys laugh at me.
Carson says selection toys can convert group copies to one component.
I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to edit, paste in place, and then I'm going to take that whole thing and raise it up. Now I'm going to make two separate shapes. To make this easy, I'm going to offset this first one. There we go. Get rid of that. This is looking cool.
Yeah.
Like that. And then I'll come up where to put this.
Randy says we show up here to share the pain.
Oh.
And then Peggy followed up with one word for you, Aaron: Cobra.
See, that's exactly, at least you guys are consistent. I mean, that's what I want to do with this shape is I'm going to do a follow me along this star, but I want to make sure that my circle is perpendicular to this line. This line is off axis. So I drew a little edge here that is the same, that is perpendicular to this edge. And then when I drew my circle, you can see it's off. So now I can grab it by the center and just pull it parallel with that edge. So now when I grab this, I can say, follow me with this circle, and I get that. That also looks like it's yellow, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the same color I got on this little guy, and I'm going to put it here. Oops, I need to put it in. Nope. I forget my modifier keys. That one. That's all the connecting geometry. Once I got that in there, I do have some cleanup to do with this. So one thing I want to do is I'm going to peek in, get rid of my reference line. Here's my path for my follow me. Triple click, delete that. And then I'll do the same thing I did before. Grab all of it, right click, deselect faces, and then hide those edges. So now you just get that good looking. All right, and then I'm going to drop that vertically.
Making it look easy.
Oh, anybody could do this. I am having
John says, we don't laugh at you, Aaron. We laugh with you.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm not laughing. Let me get this in here first. So the other thing I was thinking about was this. I was thinking about doing, how do I do this all as one? And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put in some edges. So I want to connect all of here. That. Make that into a group. That way I can come in here. And now I can just connect all that together.
Ooh, Randy says transparency plus no edges really makes it look illuminated.
That's what I was going for. Pretend illumination. It is also made of glass, so it does kind of all. I don't think that's. What are the odds that I made that actually connect? Probably bad. So I'll try back up.
People are asking, what's wrong with Cobra? We're gonna have more views on that one.
Bad things. I tried to model a Cobra, and I tried to use raw geometry, I guess. And a Cobra is a car, and there is a lot of very curvy geometry on it, and things went not well when I tried to do that. It got really heavy really fast to the point that it was kind of a unusable model. So
Ricardo says it would be great to have a tool for curve or chamfer a full polygon at once.
Check out the extension bevel, because that is exactly what it does, and it does an amazing job of it.
Is that another TomTom?
That's actually from Mindsight Studios, and it is seriously an incredible extension. One click rounding everything in a model or connected to an edge. It's great. All right, same thing here. Let's select everything. Right click, deselect faces. Hide it all. Awesome. Okay, now I can do both. Whoops. And grab both of these and drop them down vertically. So I'm dropping down the same amount. There's lapping in. I'm just come just proud of the surface. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. All right, a little bit of cleanup on here because the way I did my push pulls, these edges are popping up in a spot I don't want them. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks cool. All right. Like I said, for the sign, this right here, I think it makes more sense to cut that out of the old sign, put it on here instead of, because I know I might be able to find a font that's similar to Las Vegas, Nevada, and the two, but I know we're not going to get this script fabulous. So we have to really make it our own rather than, do that. So let's save. Let's go into tags and turn on.
A lot of people are saying that looks cool. The star looks amazing.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Randy says I really like that technique of rotating a circle to an off-axis line.
Yeah, so something to think about is when follow me takes a surface and follows a path, it follows it. It doesn't take the surface and then flip it 90 degrees and then follow the path. It follows it as it is. So if you start with a surface that's turned, you'll end up with kind of a squished version. So I would have ended up with like an ellipse following the circle rather than the perfect circle, which I'll be honest, in this model, who's going to tell, right? Who's going to be able to know? But I would know. That's the answer.
Oh, no.
I would know. And it would bother me forever. All right. So I made a copy of this. Here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. We'll see how this all works out. We've just wandered into the theory zone. So if I come in here, so this is now a surface. I'm going to come in and just kind of cut out the portion of the sign I want. Try to get as few like shadows as I possibly can. Or fairly consistent colors. This is definitely a spot where it probably makes more sense to spend a little time in Photoshop, but this isn't Photoshop Live. All right.
Iggy says you can get the clean image from the forum. I guess somebody put it up on the forum.
That's definitely
Speaking
possible too.
of the forum, little plug for those that don't know, we have a forum.sketchup.com, where we have a very robust, knowledgeable, friendly, and patient community of members that if you have a question, you can ask it in the forum and usually get a very quick response. And then we also put out news, updates, models, all that kind of stuff. So forum.sketchup.com.
Yes. Absolutely, check it out. If you have questions sometimes people put questions up on YouTube or other social media platforms asking, how do I do this? How do I fix my model? How do I whatever? And I would say a majority of the time the answer is take it to the forum and ask there. Not because we don't like answering questions when we can, but the truth is something like YouTube comments is a terrible place to try to troubleshoot people's problem models.
Yeah.
It's definitely easier to do if you are in a forum, a platform where, you can do that sort of thing. So, all right, I'm going to try this. And I appreciate that there's a clean version. We may end up using it. But what if you don't have a clean version? What if you have a photo or something like that? So what I did was I dropped it in. This is raw geometry. This is my picture that I cut out. I grouped it. I put it in there. And again, I'm trying to account for the parallax and that sort of thing. So it's in there fairly good. And I'll grab it and explode it into this. And
Ahmad's saying, why not just project it onto the surface?
Because I don't want all this other stuff. Because it won't line up perfect. So I'm trying this. We're experimenting right now. All right, I actually need to scale that down a little bit. I get where you're coming from, and I don't disagree with the thought, but sometimes I like to make things harder on myself to prove how amazing I am. No, that was cocky. All right. So here's what you might be able to do. So obviously this is not showing up as beautiful, but if I bring this up, I'm not sure how much. I was wondering if I could lighten it up, but it's washing out all the letters. That's not going to work. So I can't lighten it up in here. I could take this to an external software lighten up, or the other thing I could do is I could come in here and I could pick this color right here, fill the back of that in there, and then, ooh, did not get the right color.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that clean version in the forum right now. I was seeing what I could do with what I got, but I don't like this at all.
Oh, John says, which part of the forum do you use to suggest new ideas for SketchUp Live?
If we were going for a weathered look, I would say that is it. But I want it to be white. There is a happenings version of the section in the forum where we talk about things that are happening. So that's things like trade shows, or if we got some event going on, and we put all of our live streams in there. So I would say go into happenings and post something like a suggestion for live.
On that note, John, do you have a suggestion for SketchUp Live?
That's an even better solution.
I mean, we're right here. We're here right now. You can throw it out there. We might throw it back, but you can definitely throw it out there.
I will say this. At no point have we ever ridiculed or told anybody their ideas were bad. Not while streaming. So it's a safe place as far as that goes. I'm going to hop to the forum right now, actually, while we're talking about this, and I'm going to...
Yeah, people are saying clean version. Go get the clean version, the one with the alpha channel.
Even that clean version, it's not white. It's definitely like a tannish color, but it'll work. We're going to do it. This is what it's what we got. We're definitely going to do it.
John's idea is for Indian steep wells. Indian steep wells. Indian steep. I got to look that up.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Indian step well. Oh.
Did not care for that sound.
Whoa. Did you ever watch the movie The Fall? It was a Tarzan movie back in the early 2000s with Lee Pace.
Not ringing any bells.
Amazing movie, like beautiful cinematography, absolutely incredible set design and colors and everything like that. But one of the locations of it was the stepwell. And it is incredible. It is also complex, but I feel like it's one of those models that you could create one section of and then duplicate many times to create. But you'll have to look it up.
All right, I'll look up a stepwell at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, bring ideas in. Bring them in. I am trying to cut around these shadows.
Somebody's saying a trebuchet. I feel like, haven't we done that one before?
I don't think so.
Have we done it? Have we?
It feels like something that should have been on our list or was on our list at some point, but I don't remember actually ever modeling one. That'd be fun. All right. So as much as possible there. There we go. So I'm going to take that.
John says the Death Star Trench.
That would be fun. Have you guys seen, I'm trying to remember the name of the guy on Instagram who modeled and 3D printed little pieces like that, and then he assembled the trench. That was kind of cool. All right, I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to get it tucked right down here into this corner. And then we're going to scale it. Oh, yeah. That is good stuff right there. I'm going to do the same thing I did before.
Yep, Earl says didn't find a trebuchet when searching through SketchUp's YouTube channel. So yeah, okay, yeah.
All right. I'm going to take that, same thing, cut it, go into context, edit, paste in place, and explode that. And then I do have a little discrepancy on colors here, but this is at least uniform. This is the same color throughout, so that's good, because then I can come in here again, choose this color. Whoops.
Almost. It's so close. So close. Peter says apparently Aaron works for Scale. Oh, Randy says the tunnels inside the Great Pyramid as an idea. And then
Wow.
Andrew is asking, what is the difference between Tekla and SketchUp?
They are different software packages. I'm actually thinking Tekla is a software package that is primarily aimed. Yeah, there's actually a gradient across here. This is darker than this side. See that?
Mm-hmm.
If I get out here, it looks fine. All right, that's a spot that we could. Yeah. So what I would do is I would take this into Photoshop. I would select this gradient, color it a pure white, drop it in here, and then be done. But there's certain software I can and can't show while streaming, and this is the one. So we're close. It's good. If somebody wants to do that, actually, I'll do that. That's a pretty quick process. So if somebody does want to create a clean version of that and just get this pure white, I will do that another time. But right now, I'm going to tackle some light bulbs. What were we talking about just before that? It was something
Tekla
good.
and SketchUp.
Oh, Tekla. Yeah, Tekla's a engineering platform. It's engineering software. It is also from Trimble. So you would be forgiven in not knowing exactly what it is, but it is for engineers. So engineers, bridge designers, that kind of stuff. Available from the same company, but very different software in what it does.
Brad says use layout to create a useful grasshopper steam engine parts and complete shop plan. You know, one where you don't have to stare at dimensions for many minutes to figure out what applies to what.
That could be fun.
Bill says Notre Dame reopens December 7th. Yeah. Ooh,
Right.
Patrick says, how about modeling an Escher staircase?
That would be fun. I would enjoy that. All right, so that blank stare was not just me staring off into nothing. I was actually counting the number of lights that go around right here. So from the bulb that's right here up to the one that's on the edge right here is 24 bulbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making a component that is a light bulb. and I'm going to do it with a circle. I'm going to do it with a sphere, and then copy it around. So I'm going to just come in here and make something I think is about the right size. Looks pretty good.
Transom says save.
Yeah, that's a good call. Save. So I'm going to grab that, make component, hold the bulb. All right, now I am going to grab this path, weld it. Let's see, move this. Grab that path, use the extension path copy. That's close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's stupid. Why am I doing that? Use the computer, silly. Right. See, how many was that? That made 26. Oh, that's pretty close. Right. Let's try that again. Grab the path. Should get rid of this. Grab the path. Go grab path copy. So that is at 2 foot. So if we go like 1 foot 11. Wait, that's smaller. 1 foot. 2 foot 1. No, putting them close together does not make fewer of them. Let's see what that does.
Oh, Earl asks,
24.
will SketchUp ever do moving parts or animations, kind of like what can be done in Fusion 360?
Not that I'm aware of. SketchUp is and always has been intended to be a 3D modeling tool. So there is some additional stuff that we kind of do with it, but yeah, probably no plans I've heard of to add native anything like that.
You say native. I'm assuming by that there's implications that there's plugins. I mean, extensions.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you can do that sort of thing with different tools, but I mean it's a whole nother body of code to do animations and that kind of stuff. SketchUp's always intended to be a 3D modeling software, but people have put pieces on top to do that sort of stuff. People also take SketchUp and use it for feeding animation tools. They put rigging in and that sort of thing, but yeah, as far as I know, nothing planned to be more than what it is right now. So yeah, so here's the thing that happened. So if I was to grab this by this path and put it back onto the sign, you'd see all the bulbs would go up into the shape, right? So one of the things I can do is if I come in, because I made these components, if I was to grab the geometry inside the component and move it, I can actually get these to move outside of that path, like that. And then from there, I can grab all of them and we'll drop them down vertically. All right, get rid of this one. And I'm going to take all of this as a group. I'm going to move one copy of this right there. And then we'll do this. Oops, grab the wrong one. Grab the wrong one again. At least I'm consistent. All right, red, option copy over to here.
It's what's important, right?
That's right.
Consistency.
And take both of those. not that button, but this button. Awesome. And then I'm going to take that, those two, and we're going to slide them. Oh, I was really close on that end one. It's just slightly off.
Whoa.
A little double bulb. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, so one of the things I was thinking about is like actually modeling it as the like a bulb with a bottom on it, but then getting it to follow that curve. It's not too bad. Actually, I probably should have just done it because it would have been, I would only like to do this many and then manually place 3, and then I could have copied it. I'm feeling like I failed and I have 20 minutes left and I should do that. Ooh, yeah. Somebody put, look at that. Gus Birth and John Ross both put up beautiful, clean Las Vegas signs. So, yeah, I'm going to grab, John, thank you for yours, but Gus Birth's already trimmed, so I'm going to use that one. 2 things. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the thing. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to undo everything I just did. No, I'm not. Hold on, we're talking.
You're decisively indecisive.
We're working on something over here. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these, and I'm going to come into this one. All right, let me. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Grab all of this geometry. Rotate so it goes like that. Come in here, draw one edge right there. Grab a bunch of this geometry here.
Bill says just pretend they're magnetically attached.
And then I can take that, pull that out like that. Let's soften all that back up. Let's give that a nice light gray color. All right, so that takes care of most of them. Holy crap, everything worked perfectly. Never mind, done. I did not.
Sometimes it's despite your best efforts, it just works out, right?
I mean, yeah, that's what I had planned. I did not think that was going to work, so I'm chuffed, as some of our international users would say. All right, and then we'll take both of these, just like we did before. I wasn't making fun of chuffed. It's just not a common word here in the old US. So, back that out.
Ahmad says, well done, Aaron. Well done.
Thank you, sir. All right. Take this one.
Randy says, chuffed? I beg your pardon?
I may have used it incorrectly. I don't know how to conjugate that particular verb.
Chaffed? Chuffed.
Chuffed. Not like I'm happy with the way things worked out kind of thing. Hopefully I'm not like cursing or something like that. Oops. All right, get rid of these couple extra lines that are still in the groups. Awesome. Come in here and show my edges so I can get rid of this. And then just fill that with white. Like this, delete. All right. And now I will, the piece de resistance, yeah, does not sound good without a fake accent on it, is my new
Peggy
image.
says, you got it right, Aaron.
Okay.
It's
Thank
very
you.
pleased. I am dead chuffed to have won.
There we go. Make me feel like I'm still got it right.
you got it right. You're good.
All right. Let's go import the new clean version of the sign on my desktop. Sign PNG. Import that. Boom. Oh, awesome. I don't got to do anything with that. I just put it right, plop it right in. All right, so let's go ahead and explode it. And then once it's exploded, I'm going to make it into a group again. I know that seems silly, but I got to do that to get it properly editable. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna get that laying on the right place.
Derek on LinkedIn says, yes.
All right. I will take that, Derek. All right, that looks good. So I'm gonna grab it now, cut it, go into context, edit, paste in place, explode. There we go. It might be a little bit off, so I'm just gonna pick this. And then hide these edges. Oh yeah, baby.
Earl says, Yesco won't be pleased that their name got chopped off.
They'll live. Hey, anybody from that group sees it and is concerned, let me know and we'll make a short fixing it. All right, I'm going to group that all together. I am going to stand it up. Go back and turn off my reference portion of the model. Bring that in here. I do not believe that is to scale. We'll bring that down just a bit so it's, I mean, it's a big sign, but it's not that big. I don't know. I actually don't know how big it is. I know it's big, but it's not huge. So I was thinking it's taller. I think it's up here a little bit more like this. So come in and.
Well, let me look it up. Let me look it up.
There you go.
How tall is the Las Vegas sign? 25 feet tall.
Let's see. I went higher than that. 31. Not that much higher.
Yeah,
okay.
You're doing pretty good. Peggy says it's like we're there right now.
All right, get those back up here. Just moving them to Teddy's feet.
Oh, Earl says he's asking about animations because he thought it'd be cool to see the lights flashing in sequence around the.
You know, I was thinking about that, and again, I don't actually know. I don't remember. I've seen this sign in real life. I've seen it in videos lit up. I can't remember, but I want to have like chasing animation where, every three lights chase after each other. I was thinking about doing that. Maybe I still will. Maybe we'll come back maybe I'll do that in a video or something like that. Because that level of animation could actually be done just using scenes. What would happen is you'd have to have 3 copies of all the lights. So all the lights would be in a group 3 times right on top of each other. Then you'd have to go and make a sequence of lights. So light 1 and 2 would be gray and 3 would be white. Then light 4 and 5 would be gray, light 6 would be white. And you do that all the way around in the first group. Then you turn that group off, and in the second group, you'd have light 1 gray, 2 white, 3, 4 gray, 5 white, 6, 7, and then you turn that off, and then the last one, light 1 would be white, 2, 3 would be gray, 4 would be white, 5, 6 would be gray, and then you'd create an animation where those scenes, you'd link each of those groups to scene 1, 2, and 3, and then just play through each one. And what it would look like is that the white light is moving around. So could absolutely be done. Let me know in the comments if you have interest in that. I'll make a video on it. I'm not going to dive into it right this second, to be totally honest. I'm feeling pretty happy with where this ended, and I want to go out on a high note because I'd have to play with that a little bit before I got it right. But yeah. Leave a note.
While you're ahead, right?
That's right. I feel very ahead right now, and I don't want to screw this up anymore. All right, let's throw a shadow on this thing. Wrong button. Let's go to the shadows box to put the shadows on. Turn that on. Oh, come on now. Ooh, yeah. I like that. All right. Thank you for standing in, Teddy, but we're good now. We got this. That that neon turned out pretty sweet. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's go turn off our watermark as well. There we go.
Ooh, Earl says, well done. And thank you. Yes, please do a demo of your animation idea.
Cool. I will throw that on the list, and it will get made at some point and be available on our YouTube channel. We're there. Did it. It's made. It's done. That was fun. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Hopefully that was a enjoyable hangout we had there. And yeah, should save, yes. Save. Oops, I saved the wrong window. Save over here. There we go. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of that. That was a fun one. I like doing things like, I know somebody said, we asked what people like. Some people were asking for longer streams in one of our last things. Somebody else was asking for, making something up and just kind of designing a solution to something, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's fun to take something that is kind of iconic. This, and if something was really wrong, you would pick it up. But to get to go in and kind of try to make a version of it is a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. So, and I didn't know how I was going to do some of that stuff. I had an idea for the neon, but I love the way it turned out. So,
yeah, everybody's popping off in the comments saying, "Great job! You did great. Looks great. Good stream."
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It was fun. It's great to be back. You have to forgive our 2 weeks off, but we were debating coming back and trying to do one like the week at the end of Basecamp, because all of our team flew out that Friday before Basecamp. That's why we didn't do it that day. And then we got done on Thursday. I came back Thursday night. Some people came back Friday morning, but we were like, it would just be pushing it. It would not be a great job.
And let's just say, like, we were there long enough that we acclimated to, to the time zone, to the temperature.
Not the dryness.
So, not the dryness.
My body was never okay with that.
But all of us were still kind of, we were a little jet lagged after that.
So, saying all that to say, we won't be here next Friday. So, next Thursday is Thanksgiving in America, and the whole team's off on Friday. So we love you guys, but we're gonna go spend time with our family. We love them more. I'm sorry, I'm playing favorites, absolutely. But do come back the week after. We're gonna do modeling the next couple weeks, and then we'll be taking time off for the holidays at the end of December as well. But yeah, don't come back next Thursday because we won't be here, but we will be here the week after. So we will see you guys then. We don't really have anything to remind you because we don't have anything else going on besides that.
Yeah, no new events. Come
Basecamp's
join
the
us out on the
best.
forum in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we will see you in not 1, but 2 weeks. See you then. Thanks, guys.
See you, everybody.